Hello, welcome to Kayfabe News. My name is Flipping Marks, and it feels like on this Raw review we are having to do this too much. But if you did see the actions of one Randy Keith Orton last night on WWE flagship show, he was somehow able to get performer known as Christian, although Big Show at one point called him Jay. I don't know what that was about. That was very strange. I guess it's just a lovable nickname. But he was able to convince officials somehow, although we were never told why, to allow this to go ahead. And it was all a big ruse. Ric Flair, that dastardly old man, punched Christian right in the balls. Randy Orton kicked him in the head. And the last thing we saw was a passed out Christian being taken away on a stretcher. And if you know anything about Christian, he hasn't wrestled for the last few years. He had to retire through injury. We here at Kayfabe News are very concerned. We're very concerned about his health, his well-being, his family. So we have decided to put together this video package for the man known as Christian or Captain Charisma. Roll it. Born on the 27th of September 1998, Christian blazed his way onto our screens as part of The Brood, three people who enjoyed coming from the floor surrounded by fire and splitting blood onto people. Nice and normal. After he and Brother Edge betrayed their leader Gangrel, who also happened to be a vampire, they went on to have great tag team success in matches where at times they actually tried to kill themselves. The pair fell out eventually as Christian was jealous of Edge's Intercontinental Championship win, and it was around this time that Captain Charisma, as he would soon be known, was downgraded to simply a friend of Edge as opposed to his sibling. This has never been explained. Overjoyed that he was finally on his own, Christian couldn't find much success in WWE, and after going on a losing streak, he began to throw tantrums like a child or somebody on Reddit. It led to a match against DDP, a fellow human with a hauntingly white smile, and he vanished from all existence from 2005 to 2007. To this day, nobody knows what happened. He would eventually return to the WWE, and nothing he had achieved beforehand compared to 2011 when he won his first world title from Alberto Del Rio. Alas, this was short-lived as Randy Orton was able to beat him soon after for this belt. Christian was able to grab a second world championship from the Viper, but only after the third-generation wrestler booted him right in the balls. As it turned out, there was a rule in place that Orton would lose his title if he got disqualified, and as we found out, Randy just couldn't help himself. He saw those testicles and he went for them. It was a little bit hit and miss from that point on, and in March 2014, after suffering a concussion, Christian was forced into a secret retirement. He was never allowed to actually tell us he had retired for some reason or another, and while he would make sporadic appearances since then, it wasn't until last night on Raw that he decided to have an in-ring match. Unfortunately, he is now feared to be a headless husk of a man, but Christian, we shall never forget you. We'll try anyway, we're busy, things happen, you understand. So yes, wishing you all the best, Christian. You have our thoughts here from the Kayfabe News Desk, and as for you, Randy Orton, that's both Edge and Christian that you have now taken out. So I will send a warning to Gangrel. Gangrel, I think he may be working his way through the Brood. I know we haven't seen you in World Wrestling Entertainment for a while, but I would set that fire going and I would demerge into the floor. You used to emerge, I would now demerge, and I would hide yourself because I think the master of the RKO will be coming for you next. There's also seemed to be an evening where everybody else just fell out. Lana and Bobby Lashley are gonna get a divorce. Andrade and Angel Garza are fighting to the point Zelina Vega had to treat them like children, but they weren't listening to her at all. And Liv Morgan and Natalya, who'd only got together during this episode, fell out 3 minutes later when they were so crap as a tag team, they got beaten by the Iconics. On that note, we are going to get the Iconics versus Sasha Banks and Bayley in a week's time. And I have no idea who made that official, given that the Iconics lost last week and then lost at the pay-per-view, known as Backlash. But I'm letting it go this week because I guess it just makes sense to smile and be happy. Because I'm so worried about Christian. You have no idea. Did you see Randy Orton kick him in the skull? Have you ever been kicked in the skull? No, you haven't. I mean, you act like you've been kicked in the skull, but that's just because you're a numpty to begin with. In far more troubling news, ninjas have also invaded Monday Night Raw. led by Akira Tozawa, who you may recognize from Raw and both the other show, known as 205 Live and sometimes NXT, he seems to have just eradicated his old ways, hire a very, very tall ninja to stand by his side, and seems ready to run through Monday nights. And I would like to know what his objective is, what he hopes to gain from all of this. Also, where did he get all this ninja training? Surely I should have been told that he wasn't a ninja 2 weeks ago, so why over the last 48 hours has he become a ninja? Again, we have a comment box below this video. If you could please tell me, I would appreciate it. People don't just become ninjas unless they are mutated turtles that have a mutated rat teaching them the basics. Everyone knows that. It's standard. I also think that it's important we vote Rey Mysterio as worst dad of 2020. Because Rey Mysterio didn't turn up to Raw on this evening, but his son Dominic did after running away from the family home despite his father's wishes. What kind of household are you running there, Mr. Mysterio? Are you not aware that you're meant to keep children under lock and key? You are very lucky, because amazingly what happened here is this child attacked Seth Rollins, a former WWE champion, and Austin Theory and Murphy weren't able to catch him. But if you are not on Raw next week, Ray, I promise you this, your son is in a whole heap of trouble. Up your parenting skills, up what you're doing with your day, get out of the gym and focus on your family life, you cretin. I'm also very worried about Drew McIntyre's WWE title. As you know, since winning the belt at WrestleMania 36, he has won 18 consecutive matches in a row. But he too let his guard down this evening as he decided to defend his world championship in a tag team match. And that's the equivalent of me trying to eat ice cream with my nose, and he almost lost it because of that idiot known as R-Truth. Now, I didn't even know that R-Truth and Drew McIntyre were friends. They did have a common enemy in MVP and Bobby Lashley, who were mighty pissed off after they failed to capture Drew's WWE title. And again, someone, I don't know who it was, decided it would be a great idea to do a winner-take-all match with both the WWE and 24/7 title. This then magic, mysterious man decided to remove the 24/7 title from that equation, but the WWE title, the most important championship, the most important belt in the entire company, was up for grabs. And I saw R-Truth pin MVP, so I can only presume that now R-Truth is both your 24/7 champion and your world champion. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on. But I'm very fearful for Drew McIntyre's future in the company. Nobody has his back. It's just a bunch of smucks running wild. He needs protection. In better news, Shelton Benjamin returned to the program as well, so we know he's not dead. There was a good few weeks there where I presume he must have passed away because no one was talking about him, and he was unsuccessful as he tried to remove the United States Championship from around Apollo Crews' waist. He too has now got plenty of momentum behind him, which is very exciting, and rumor has it that he may be joining up with Bobby Lashley and MVP, and that's a stable I'm interested in, especially because you can call it Benja Boppy, which of course is Benjamin, Bobby, and the P of MVP's name. I'll be looking for my check in the post. Finally, I would like to ask WWE to look into the corrupt officials, the corrupt referees they have on their books in a rematch before the Raw Women's Championship between Asuka and Nia Jax. Nia Jax pushed the official, which obviously should have been a disqualification. If someone ran here right now and pushed me, would I stand for it? Of course I wouldn't. I would kick their ass using my earlobe. But no, the referee just decided to wait until Asuka rolled Nia Jax up, and then he did a fast count, which was also confirmed by the commentators. So I expect this man to be fired from the company. I expect his referee license to also be rescinded. And if I ever see him on my television again, I am going to start a campaign. This is real sports, ladies and gentlemen. Sports where people's livelihoods are on the line. Nia Jax could now be the women's champion, but she's not because of a rogue human being. I will not stand for it. And that is that. That's the end of this week's review for Raw from Kayfabe News. Still very worried about Christian, or Jay, as I'll call him. I'll use Big Show's name. I feel like we're close. I feel like we're friends. We're thinking of you, Jay. We're with you. And just remember, when you do make it back to TV, we'll tune in and we will blow your kisses. Please do hit the subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment below expressing your love for Christian. I'm sure he'll see it, because who the hell doesn't watch Kayfabe News? Flipping Marks. I'll talk to you again soon.